Owsley has the results, in fact, of our exclusive 7 News Emerson College poll.
Those results from a new Emerson College News Nation poll.
Tonight, we're releasing some of the results of an exclusive CBS 17 Emerson College poll.
Our exclusive 7 News Emerson College poll shows New Hampshire voters favor Joe Biden over President Trump.
You say the findings of our News Nation Emerson College Opinion Survey of Michigan.
An exclusive CBS 17 Emerson College poll measured voters' opinions as recently as Friday.
Because I worked on campaigns, a lot of campaigns, I worked with a lot of college students. And I didn't look at them as college students, I looked at them as my co-workers that I worked on a campaign with. So it really starts in 2000 when Emerson did a poll with Dave Paleologos, who was teaching here. And I was actually in grad school or in undergrad at the time, not here. In 2001, Dave went over to Suffolk University. Emerson decided not to move forward with a polling program, and I went to Suffolk and studied under him. But while I sat in that class, I said, this could have been taught at the undergrad level. I should have already learned this. Now, fast forward to 2012, I graduate, I'm in the field for 10 years, and I notice that everybody in politics is using automated data collection. But yet when I looked at the universities who do these public polls, they're all using live operators. And there's a big difference. I'm looking at Obama's campaign. I'm looking at millions of dollars being spent on automated data collection and no university or college actually doing this research. So I suggested to the college, and at the time Lee Pelton was new as President Pelton, and he liked the idea. It wasn't truly supported financially, but the idea itself wasn't, you can't do this. Starting in 2012 and in 2013, using faculty funds as a class project, we started doing some polling. And really in 2013, we had 2 polls. One was a special election in Massachusetts between Ed Markey and Gomez, a Republican. And then we had another election in Virginia in 2013. And both polls by Emerson were within like a point. And all of a sudden people, whoa! And I'm sitting there saying, the industry's been doing this for a long time. It's the academic community that's just learning it. So that's really the birth of Emerson Polling is 2012, 2013, and it came with a lot of reservation because people are, you don't collect data like this. And I said, yes, we do. The whole industry's doing it. And then they saw it work, and that's basically how we started the program, and over time have been able to build it to where we're today.
Last year they were operating, 2 years ago they were operating out of Spencer's office. It's a shoebox office, and they were making news headlines across the United States.
Emerson College Polling is really, really unique in terms of the fact that undergraduates get to be involved at a very intensive level early on. Spencer is just very good at prioritizing the learning aspect of the whole polling experience at Emerson. He allows student collaboration at really every step. Also just allows a kind of collaboration that many other colleges aren't getting because they aren't letting young people be involved in their process. We are really one of the only pollsters that uses Twitter as our main way to connect to consumers and voters, and I think that is part of our success. And I think part of that is because we have youth running the Twitter. It's myself and the student workers that are running the Twitter account, so we communicate in a different way than maybe somebody who is running an institution's polling account that is 40 or 50 years old.
He's a great teacher. He's taught us all of this, everything that we know, and now we're able to teach other people, which I think is great. Our work environment is really fun, and that's what makes it kind of work. We all get to laugh with each other and joke around and talk about, the current issues of the day. I think that that's kind of the glue to this all, is that we don't take ourselves too seriously.
When we sit in class, I let them know we're not in a class, we're in a meeting. And you better come prepared to this meeting with this information. And I think that level of respect for each of us is what creates the proper decorum, because we are talking about a really hot political season. And yet we're able to sit around the table with different ideologies and talk about polls and look at it, which is a real testament to the Emerson student who can put their politics to the side and truly understand communication.
Spencer deserves all the credit when it comes to building the national profile of Emerson Polling. So it's always been a student organization in some ways, but in recent years, we've really seen Spencer take Emerson Polling in a different direction. It's no longer doing local races or Massachusetts races. It's really diving into races in other states.
The new Emerson College poll shows that incumbent John Tierney has lost some of his edge over rival Seth Moulton. Joining me now to break down the recent poll, Aishwarya Ramani, the current Emerson College Polling Society president. Thanks for being here.
An exclusive 7 News Emerson College poll shows 45% of Floridians are throwing their support behind President Donald Trump.
Florida is a key state for either candidate.
Well, if I was Joe Biden, I'd feel good being up 7 considering how poorly he did in the Democratic primary in New Hampshire.
Our exclusive 7 News Emerson College poll shows Senator Ed Markey leading Congressman Joe Kennedy III among likely voters.
Certainly, if these poll numbers hold, we'll see the first Kennedy to lose statewide in Massachusetts ever. Bloomberg News has a quote in the article, and they're talking about all these things about the polls, and they say, one thing is for sure, Emerson knows how to do polling. And it was that quote that says, wow, Bloomberg News is, recognizing that this was some good work. And from there, we were able to build off of it with media partners and sponsors, and then more good polling. And as we know, you're only as good as your last poll.
We usually do about a poll every week, and then approaching an election, we do maybe 3 or 5 a week. So that's pretty challenging, just juggling all of that, and it's like just cranked up. But we just really lean on each other and delegate the tasks, and it always turns out good.
We have breaking news results from the state of Pennsylvania. Those results are in right now, and based on what we are seeing there, we can say that Joseph Robinette Biden Jr. is on track to win the state of Pennsylvania, become the 46th president of the United States.
Democrats and Republicans remain in a prolonged battle for control of the Senate. As you can see in this graphic, predictions of a blue wave, well, they did not seem to pan out.
Democrats, as expected, with some key pickups here, have maintained their control of the House of Representatives.
The rout of President Trump and his party, predicted by many polls, didn't happen.
A real source of concern for polling and the polling industry. We thought we had understood what was the problem last time and had corrected it.
I do think we failed to learn the lesson of 2016, which is don't look at national polls. They mean nothing in this contest. And don't look at the forecasters. They're masking the true dynamics on the ground.
Emerson Polling is student driven, right? It's not a couple of professors that are driving the show and students are there to sort of witness what's happening. Students are actually doing the work. Obviously, Spencer is there to supervise the work and make sure that they're not, going in wrong directions. But students are really driving the show, and that's what's really amazing about Emerson Polling is that even though it's driven by students, it's still making national headline news and news headlines, and it's actually making a really big impact on the public discourse.
I get to study the elections, I get to know what's moving in the country, and I get paid for it. It's the greatest job. So I have plenty of motivation. When they say, to me, it's not even a job. This is a passion. So the idea that I can make a living on this is awesome, and I'm internally grateful to Emerson College for this opportunity, and to my colleagues. And to hear them speak highly, it's likewise. We work together, and I think the true mentality here comes from a famous quote from JFK. a rising tide raises all ships, and I'm hoping that as we improve our program, other programs at the college improve, and that collectively Emerson continues to improve as a college and inspire the next generation of innovators. Should be able to grab something there. You got to cut that down.